They stay by the fire, deep into the night. Stan whispers to Dostoevsky, Mr. Dostoevsky, I think I need the toilet. You think you need the toilet? He replies. I mean, I do need the toilet. The boy needs the toilet, Dostoevsky calls. The lavatory, comes another voice. The Kazi, the thunderbox, the loo, the netty, the bog. Stan feels his face burning. Where is it? He whispers. It's out there in the dark, Dostoevsky says. If it's a number 2, go downwind and dig a ditch. He touches Stan's arm gently. It's okay. There'll be a proper place tomorrow. Go to the edge of the field. We'll keep an eye on you. Out for coming back. Laughter follows Stan as he stands up and leaves. He shuffles away from the fire. He stumbles over car tracks and holes and tussocks of grass. He smells potatoes and beer and pies and horse dung and wood smoke and pipe smoke. A little dog sniffs at his heels. A couple of scrawny, half-naked kids come out to him. Who are you? What's your name? Stan, says Stan. What you doing here? I'm with a hook and duck stall, answers Stan. And he surprises himself by feeling a little flicker of pride. Ah, says the kids, impressed. Stan goes beyond the fires to the deeper dark to the edge of the field. I said we'd meet again, comes a gentle voice. Stan turns. A woman standing there, wearing a long dress and a headscarf. Her face shines in the light of the moon. Gypsy Rose, she says. Remember? Yeah, says Stan. I said you would travel. Remember? Yeah, says Stan. And you must have done so, for here you are, so far away. I remember. Your name is Stan. She moves closer. She holds his chin, gently turns his face towards the moon. Let me look into your eyes. Ah, yeah. I see you are still in trance, and I see that you have become dejected, as I said you would. Stan can't move. He doesn't know whether to run, call out, or stay where he is. Don't worry, Stan, murmurs Gypsy Rose. I am no danger to you. Do you have silver with which to cross my palm? I've got nothing, he says. Nothing? That's not quite true, is it, Stan? You have yourself. You have your good heart. Always remember that. Now. Let us say the moonlight is your silver. She opens her hand and lets the moonlight fall across her palm. Thank you for it, Stan. Now, open your own hand and let me look into it. She takes his hand and opens it and lets the moonlight fall on it. He looks down at the lines and tiny creases and cracks and bulges there. Moonlight is best of all, says Gypsy Rose. It gives the purest, most truth-telling light. She traces the lines on his palm with her fingertip. Oh, Stanley, she murmurs, there have already been disastrous moments in your short life, but you will live long, and better times will come if you can overcome the perils that lie in wait. Perils, whispers Stan. What is the purpose of living if there are no perils to be encountered and overcome? She smiles. Stan can't answer her. I see water, she continues. I see great peril there. She leans closer. But you must be brave. You must say yes. Much gold could be yours. Do not be troubled by the teeth. Troubled by the... I don't know what that means, but I do know that you left someone behind, Stan. Yes, my aunt and uncle Annie and Ernie. Can you see what is happening to them? Gypsy Rose shakes her head. No, but perhaps your heart and the moon will draw them to you. The moon? The moon is filled with the yearnings of human hearts, Stan. Have you noticed how it burns brightest when we ache with longing? Stan has no answer. Is it true? He gazes now up into the moon and thinks of his absent aunt and uncle. And yes, its light does seem to intensify. Annie and Ernie look upon the same moon as you, Stan, says Gypsy Rose. Do they have good hearts too? Yes, says Stan. Then he thinks of Ernie and the tin of goldfish, and he turns his eyes towards the earth. But but they have made mistakes. Yes. As we all do, if their hearts are good and true, the light of the moon that is filled with your yearnings will draw them to you. Now, you were on an errand, I believe. Stan gulps. I need to pee, he whispers. Then go, says Gypsy Rose. Look, there are some shadows beneath those old trees. There. Stan turns from her. He slips into the shadows under the trees and wheezes into the silvery dark. When he returns, she's gone, and the dark shape of Dostoevsky is moving through the field, calling his name. Chapter 17. That night, when they return to the caravan at last, Stan lies on a beach beneath a blanket with the 13th fish and its companions at his side. The moon shines through the little caravan window, and he gazes up and senses yearning through the night. Then he sleeps. And in his dreams, angry policemen shine torches into his eyes and warn him he'd better be good. A glowing fire rises from the earth and turns into the moon. Voices drone and whisper and laugh and sing. He sees giants and dwarves and three-headed sheep. A strong man lifts him up, throws him into the sky and catches him as he falls. A man with a tiger on his back chases him into a forest. Ducks spin in circles round his head. He finds himself deep in water, swimming, and there's a fin on his back. My companions, he cries. Oh, where are my companions? He sees Annie and Ernie walking along the road beside the sea. They look ancient and wizened and worn. He calls to them. He reaches out to them. Then comes a voice from far, far away. Come on up! 6 o'clock! Time to start! Stan leaps from his sleep. Is he back in Fish Key Lane? Is the fish canning about to begin? No. He's in the caravan. The voice is Dostoevsky's. It's 6 o'clock, Stan. There's a hook and dock stall to put up. It's time to start. Chapter 18. It's easy to assemble a hook and duck stall, especially one that's been assembled so many times in so many places for so many years. Stan sets to work with Dostoevsky, both bolt the wooden boards together, hoist a few poles for the canopy, sling the canopy over the top, tie down the canopy with a few ropes, stand back, admire, read the scarlet lettering, the famous Dostoevsky's Hook a Duck, a prize every time. Then get the plastic pool for the plastic ducks and place it at the centre. Stan enjoys it once he gets going, just like he always enjoys himself when he's hard at work. He runs back and forth to a tap at the edge of the field. He collects water in a bucket and fills up the pool. As he runs, he finds he already has friends, people who call out his name and wave. All around, stalls and sideshows are being set up. The sun shines down. The fair grows by the hour. There are merry-go-rounds with teacups for little ones. There are dodgems and a carousel. There's a haunted house, a ghost train, Dracula's castle. There are shooting galleries and coconut shies. There are hot dogs and chips and burgers, sides of beef, legs of pork. Stan sees Gypsy Rose's caravan with the little pony tethered near it, and more caravans with gypsy names painted on the sides. He fills up the pool. He cleans the ducks. He sets them in the water. He gets the rods, the hooks, lays them out ready for the customers. He takes goldfish from the tank and puts them in plastic bags with plenty of water. As he hangs them up above the stall, he whispers he'll make sure they go to good homes. He doesn't lift out the 13th fish, of course. It swims elegantly through the tank, whispering farewell to its companions. Dostoevsky applauds when it's all done. He sees Natasha peeping out from the caravan window and points at Stan like he's really proud of him. Natasha scowls. You're natural, Stan. It's like you were born for it. Stan finds some paper and a pen. He sits on the grass and carefully makes some certificates. He uses his best handwriting. I hereby promise I will take good care of this lovely little fish. I will give it fresh water and food and love. Signed, dated, Natasha comes out of the caravan. She's bleary-eyed and wearing a dirty old nightie. What's this? She says. She picks up one of the certificates. She reads it and snorts. Love, she says. Love, huh. Do you think they'll take any notice once they're out of your sight? Yes, says Stan. They have to promise. She snorts again. Promise? Take no notice, Stan, says Dostoevsky. He contemplates his daughter and shakes his head. She used to be a lovely lass. Used to be? Used to be? But that, says Dostoevsky, was in the time of Mrs. Dostoevsky. Natasha glares. She stamps back to the caravan, goes inside, slams the door. Mrs. Dostoevsky, says Stan. My wife, Natasha's mother. She went off to Siberia with a troupe of ballerinas. She never came back. The caravan door swings open. Natasha leans out. She said she'd take me with her, if you must know. She snaps. She glares at Stan. What do you think of that? I don't know, says Stan. Then she said I hadn't practised enough. So what did she do? She went off to Siberia? Asked Stan. Yes, she went off to Siberia. Natasha slams the door again. Siberia? Asked Stan. More than a year ago, says Dostoevsky. The door swings open. I hope she's stuck in a snowdrift, yells Natasha. I hope she's turned to ice. The door slams shut. To be honest, Stan, admits Dostoevsky, I think Mrs. Dostoevsky was a bit disappointed in me. She had dreams and ambitions, and I don't really think a hook and duck stall was good enough for her. Anyway, Natasha's not been the same since. The door swings open again. Natasha stamps towards Stan. This is a picture of her, if you must see. Stan takes the photograph. It shows a slender woman with flowing hair and a flowing dress leaping through the air. She looks lovely, he says. Lovely, snorts Natasha. She snatches the photograph from him. Here, she says. Give it back before you ruin it. She stamps back to the caravan and slams the door. Dostoevsky shrugs. The door swings open once more. She was lovely, yells Natasha. Then the door slams shut again. Stan feels a tug at his arm. A little boy is standing there. Can I try a hook and duck, mister? She was, yells Natasha from behind the closed door. I'm going to stop it there.